We are live on Shaggy TV for the Senex Short Track Series Championship weekly doubleheader. You guys know the drill by now, man. They ran the races throughout the week. We do the replays here at the end, and people in the chat, if you don't mind yelling at me, for real, you can do it on my channel or the Senex side. I'm looking at both. I will keep an eye on both. Let me know if my sounds are a little jacked up. Definitely sounds a little louder to me than normal, and I think I know why. My apologies. You guys know, though. I was running the Spa 24-hour race. Well, actually still am here. Gonna go do that again in a little bit, but I turned up the engines of those GT3 cars. Helps me, be able to tell when people are around me. And I didn't really think of it before I fired this thing up. So my apologies here, but should be getting ready to roll. You see about 7 minutes left in practice. I'll probably, sometimes I fast forward through it. We'll fast forward through it a little bit. But we'll use this, for you guys. Like I say, you can yell at me if the sounds are bad. Whatever's going on. Try to fine-tune some stuff before we go out. And this could be a shame on me, maybe I didn't remember. But I don't think Hollywood, man. I don't know if he's been out here yet this season. And if Roland has, well, shame on me for forgetting about you, Hollywood. But good to call a series here with Roland Olsen in it once again. He was in one of the first series I ever got a chance to call. So be awesome to see Roland here. Hopefully he gets some podiums so we can ask him how well his daughter's doing on the basketball side of things. You may think, oh, Hollywood, he's the big time. Well, the big time in that family is Lucy. And I think he'd tell you that, unless maybe there's a relative in the past that, maybe I got caught slipping on, didn't know was in the family. But, heck, yeah, he's even got the USA Basketball. Is that oh, look at that, the Mystics. Yeah, that's, I think, where I would assume Lucy plays for the Mystics. I mean, this would be making some sense here. I'm, one of those typical male scumbags. Do I follow women basketball that often? No, not really. But do I follow any basketball that often in my defense? No, not at all. Until the playoffs come on. I've always been I know it's boring as hell. I'm a baseball guy. Obviously a NASCAR guy. Love dirt racing. But, man, football. I'm a diehard Redskins fan. No one will ever take that name away from me. I mean, obviously, I'll call them the Commanders. I'll do what I got to do. But got a Redskins tattoo on my arm that I got when I was a late teenager that will never go off my arm. I'd live and breathe football. So let's see. This is another thing. My apologies. But normally, I must have never been to this track before, so you'll see how I do this. I steal the pit lane cameras. At least one of them. And then I put it where I want to put it for the starts of the race here. We'll go up on the fence like I like to do. Not that low on the fence. Rotate it a little more here. And see, then you get to see him just, absolutely trying to rail it. Coming off the corner, eating that wall. This is the action. Now we just got to remember that it's called Pit Lane 2. That's going to get us into some trouble here tonight because I'm not going to resave it right now. It'll be all right. All's good in the world. Running out of practice time here, that's for sure. And Mike Lemieux at the top of the charts right now in this 40 machine. Let's do the quick rundown. Oh, we got the sock puppet in there now. The sock monkey for Mike Lemieux here. Got Keith Kincaid behind him. Whoa! Whoa! Whoa, how did he do that? We're going to take that car away. Look at Keith. Slap my logo on the driver's suit. That is awesome. That is a really cool little detail there, Keith. That's awesome. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Let's go find Ed Papineau here. Oh, look at that. Proud to be an American. I mean, you can tell he filled that out last week, July 4th weekend. I mean, man is ready to roll. Got Dave Brill pulling out here in the 88 machine. Rob Cassidy out here in the 68. See Frank Barbary back here. He's out here with us today. Who else is on the track? Roland's the only one on the track. We got Glenn Stanley hanging out on pit road. Chris Farmer in that 54. He's got the left sides jacked up. Must be getting tires on that thing. Quinn McLean right behind him in that 21 machine. The 21 Race Graphics. I like that logo. Or the name, the way they spelled the name anyway. I don't see a logo just yet on the side of the car. As always, Joe Canella's, man, the 1K. Joe, he is a short track racer, I'm telling you. Maybe hasn't panned out for him so far. But he's going to get one of these podiums, and it's only going to take him a little bit of time here. Figure out the new tire. Well, really, everyone's been having to figure out the new tire model that we got in the update not too long ago. So it's been I'd say a problem for everyone. And I noticed, I got to do one more thing here. This is supposed to be TV3. We need a full race camera. I don't like the way that one zooms in. I got to have one of the overall, for the restart scene. Then we go to TV2. We can get the zoomed in. We've got a little even more zoomed in here with one. But we need that full scene to know what's going on as Keith Kincaid pulling off the racetrack, because you see that timer. Practice is almost kaput. Chris Reinold in the 71 working on the back of Hollywood. Let's see here. Let's ride off the, when we can find it. There we go. Oh, a spin behind. That's the 01 of Ed Papineau there. Oh, man. Reinold getting as close as he can. It's one of those things you can look, but you can't touch. Not supposed to, anyway. He's going to look down to the inside here we remember pit lane 2. And one more thing we forgot to do. Let's see if we can do this real quick before it changes. Yes, we got it. We win. We don't want it to rotate off this camera even when no drivers are on the track. See, if I wouldn't have made that a scenic group, it would have jumped probably to some fry stand in Minnesota or whatever crazy scenic cameras they decided they were going to use here. Chris Reinold, first one out on the racetrack. You know the drill by now. He does it for the TV time. You get out there first. You get lap number 1 on the screen. Oh, you're going to throw a little wrench in the plans. Didn't like the opener. Pulls to the inside. Going to reset the car. And now we hand the keys over here to Hollywood. Mr. Roland Olson. Rolling off of 4. Dives down into 1. Maybe want to get a little lower to that yellow. Or maybe I'm wrong. He nails the apex. Pretty good apex there for the 33 of Roland Olson. Comes around through 3 and 4. Let's see what lap number 1 is going to look like here for Hollywood. Going to be P2 as Dave Brill runs a 16:66. Got the devil with him out there, a 1:66 for the 88. Let's see, can he improve here? He may want to, may not want that time coming off of 4. We'll see if it proves to be unlucky as Chris Reinold just stomps him 600ths, or excuse me, it was 0.2 faster, only 600ths now than Rob Cassidy, who comes across the stripe in P2, the 68. Trying to make a little move here, but he can't improve. Going to stay P2, Chris Reinhold. At the top is Glenn Stanley, comes across lap number 1. As you see, Joe Cannella's there. He comes home 6th. Glenn Stanley, P2, lap number 1. Can he improve? Slower through sector 1. Can he find time coming out of 4? He does, but it's not enough. Going to stay P2. Now the man who has just been, he's been raiding the snack cabinet, and he hasn't been leaving any of the good snacks for anyone else. Just dominating here, coming out, collecting wins. Gets to the top of the charts with a 16.58. The flaming hot Keith Kincaid rolls through 3 and 4, purple through 1. This is going to be a little quicker. Final time, purple, Keith Kincaid with a 16.37 in his own world out here. 0.2 faster than Mike Lemieux, who just crossed the line in the 40 machine. Going to need a big help here if you want to be able to get by Keith Kincaid. It's looking like this is, he has showed some racecraft, this season. Some dominant races, having to kind of use maybe tire strategy at certain points that didn't benefit to him. I think he did end up getting a P2 the week he went down pit road. But, it's one of those things that now, Keith, if he can, they're going to, I believe do they invert you'd think I would remember this by now. I know for the dirt side, they invert the top 4. I can't remember. I'm drawing a blank here if we're going to do it on the asphalt side. I think they do it in both. Gun to my head, that's what I'm saying. Oh, and okay, I just saw the chat there. Okay, so Lucy is sorry, I've got so many things, only 3 screens. So I see the Victory Sim Racing did confirm that's where Lucy's at out there with the Mystics. And Lucy actually helped in a way, I'm sure, Roland kind of got her to do it or, help put her name out there. But all in all, it's all the same. She helped sponsor one of the first leagues that I broadcast. Man, I will forever be grateful to Roland and his family for that. Definitely not necessary, and it was super cool of Lucy and the gang to kind of step up and do that. But let's take a look here. Starting grid. Rounding out the field. Row 6 to the top shelf, the 01 of Pappy, Ed Papineau. To the inside, the 21 of Blackjack, Quinn McLean. Row 5 to the outside, the 68 of Rob Cassidy. To the inside, the 54 of Chris Farmer. Row 4 to the top shelf, the 33 of Hollywood, Roland Olson. To the inside, the 1 of the dog, Joe Canellis. Row 3 to the high side, the 26, Frank Barbary. To the inside, the 88 of Dave Brill. Row 2 to the outside, the 29 of the Tool, Glenn Stanley. To the inside, the 71 of Chris Reinhold. Row 1 for your A main here at the Langley Speedway. To the top shelf, the 40 of Mike Lemieux. And starting on the pole, the 17 of Keith Kincaid. Go around here one more time before we get set to go play in that Flamin' Hot Cheetos, man. Let's see if he can burn this place down here in Hampton, Virginia. The Langley Speedway, one of the shorter tracks we're going to be at all season. I know this is a short track league, but this is a short track. You have got to get your elbows out. You've got to fight for your spot if you want it. And we'll see if Keith Kincaid maybe muscles Lemieux up the hill. Maybe doesn't need to. Takes advantage of the inside, but the green flag waves, and we are underway. 100 laps to play. Let's go to that TV3 here so we can see what's going on here. Lap number 1, you see Lemieux. He's going to lose a spot right away. The 71 of Reinhold felt it was important to get down on the bottom of the racetrack. It's Joe Canellis. Works by that 26 of Frank Barbary. Here comes Chris Farmer trying to plow that bottom work under the 26. And maybe Quinn McLean can get up here and get a little piece. I can't dive to the inside. The 26 leaves the door open, though. Blackjack going to play it smart too early. Make a dumb move. And, well, we still got plenty of play time here in Virginia. Let's watch Reinhold. He's getting pretty close to that hot Cheetos machine. Don't want to burn yourself off that flaming hot bumper. As Reinhold drives it in deep now. Okay, you're going to have some speed doing this, but I worry about that tire wear. Let's break this down. So watch the 71. Going to drive in a little lower. Not going to arc this race car. He is going to push up the hill, sliding that right front, then cut down. Whereas you see the 17 of Keith Kincaid, it's all one motion. I mean, there he did slide up the hill a little bit, maybe checking the rear view mirror a little too much. But you can see that's sliding up for the 71, you know. You're not going to crucify him just yet. But you do that too long, and, man, those tires are going to be feeling it. Let's go off the back of Keith Kincaid. He's got that shaggy TV. You like to look at that a little bit. But we also get to watch Reinhold getting close, man. Look at him. You can see right into his eyes. He's that close. Reinhold right there. Little love tap coming off of 4. And, boy, oh, boy, Reinhold says, Keith, you better get that POS moving, man. I'm hungry. I want to win. Now, Keith, he maybe heard the message, got a good run off of 2, opens up that gap just a little bit. Right back to the bottom off of 4, help that car rotate. We go back to Dave Brill, who right behind him sees a battle in the rearview mirror. Not much of one. Farmer down to the bottom, gets another one, man. That dungeon speed. He let the speed out of the dungeon here so far. Up 4 spots, started 9. Big mover here for Chris Farmer. Let's see if he's being nice to those tires, if he can make it go the rest of the way. We got another battle. Rob Cassidy under the 21 here. What can Quinn McLean do? Blackjack not going to put up much of a fight here, I don't think. Here comes Hollywood. Roland Olson on the bottom. Got that Mystics machine rolling. The 33 up into 9th. Hollywood making moves here early. Let's go off the nose here of the Farmer. Let's see if, I got a feeling. Maybe only a lap or 2 away from a move here on the 88. Good run off of 2. Let's see what he can do. Not going to drive it in there. You saw Dave kind of shut the door. Dave, though, picking up that throttle a little too early. You can see then he's got to roll out of it. And you can just hear it in Chris's car. That's when he gets on the gas, okay? He gets into it, and he's in it. I mean, if you were with me at Spa this last night or this morning, that's what you would have heard my teammates telling me. You know, in fact, I've got an alien on my team, one of those guys that can almost run the Verstappen times, and he said it probably better than anyone. Short track racing, if you can short track race, well, you can road race in the caution flag waves. That's Joe Canella's around on the inside. Because there's just so many properties that are the same. The way you don't want to brake too heavy going into the corner. You give it that initial heavy stomp, but then you kind of feather out of it, do what's called trail braking. And that's where, you're going to get the benefits of all that road experience. And you can see I'm sure Farmer, plenty good there on the road side of things. You can just see it translate. Joe enters a little high, then gets a shot from the 21 of Quinn McLean. And Canellis, not too sure here if they'll let him get the wave around, but the big problem is he does the right thing, doesn't want to pull up in front of the field. But, doing that, Joe now, he put himself a lap down. So hopefully everything will be all right in that world of things. He's going to come down pit road maybe after doing the loop, get a new set of skins on that thing. And now if you're Joe, this is, you've heard me mention this before. Now, there's a chance Joe goes 2 laps down. Let's go to the real pit lane camera. Okay, so now you see the pace car coming. Joe still left side's jacked up, and this will, in fact, I mean, that's going to put him another lap down. Unless they give him the wave around. And now, from what I've seen, now Hollywood, he is getting the wave around. He's going back on the lead lap. He had gotten trapped at pit stop as well. Now, Joe, he's not going to get one, though. He's stuck back there. And the lights will probably dim down here on the pace car this time. You know, I never noticed it said safety vehicle above the pace car. That's the first for me. So which one are we calling it? You know, the safety vehicle, the pace car, it says both. Now, you know, now we're incorporating, they maybe did it for that reason, because I feel like, you know, over there in Europe, no offense, guys. I mean, you're the weirdos calling it the safety car. We're calling it the pace car over here. And that's the way it's going to stay. We're in America. We're at Langley. Pace car pulls off. We're back underway. Lap 19. It's time to play. Whoa! We got another one. Traffic jam on the inside. Caution flag waves. You see the 3, Ed Papineau, Glenn Stanley, and Frank Barbary in that 26, who just tried to turn it around, collected the wall a little bit. You know what they say, man. Cautions breed cautions. You see the 29 of Glenn Stanley. Drives it in a little deep, and then when you do that, you're turning the wheels already. I know exactly what happened. We've all been there. So he's overshooting the corner, but the problem is, you know, if you overshoot the corner, just try to straighten that wheel up, because it's the same concept like I was saying with road racing. If you get in the brakes hard and you have wheel input, you're really cranking that thing down to get in the corner. Well, the car's going to bounce on you. It's going to upset the balance. You're going to go around. And that is, I mean, exactly what we saw happen. He was going to go around, I think. Whether he got help or not, you kind of saw that thing bike down to the left side. And well, if you're going to have a mistake, you want it to be this early. You got plenty of time, plenty of laps to come back here and make this thing up. So we'll see no drivers here. Going to be pit road takers. We'll find the leader, and then the lights should go off here. This time by, Canella's, I believe, gets one of those laps back because he was 2 down. Now we're seeing 1 lap. So Joe getting one of those back. Chris Farmer still on pit road. So he may have suffered some damage. Let's check him out. Farmer was quick. I'm surprised. I have no idea what would have happened with that 54 to want to go down there and sit on pit road. But, I mean, that was the guy, you know, we talked about him being the biggest mover. So that is quite the head scratcher for your boy Shaggy. Not too sure what's going on there. I see some of the drivers hanging out in the driver's lounge. Good to see you, man. Some of them hanging out during this thing. And that ain't the waiting room. You know, they got a couple different rooms. I don't know. Now, one of them's waiting in the waiting room. I won't tell you who. So we know he's finishing up here. But the other ones, man, they're just hanging out to hang out. That's a good group of gentlemen here as we get ready to go back underway. Lap 24 is the green flag wave. Ooh, let's see, are they playing nice back here? Blackjack slides up the hill just a little bit. That allows Roland Olson to kind of weave away from that 21, try to cast his net out there on the boss man, Rob Cassidy. Rob working that BD Ranch 68 on the inside. He's another one, though. I didn't like that entry to turn 1. You don't want to be overdriving the corner here. Short track racing, that front tire grip. more important than your wife's birthday. I mean, you do not want to forget about treating that right front tire with respect here. She is going to leave you hanging out these last 20, 25 laps, and you are going to be all alone dancing by yourself. And Keith Kincaid maybe showing Reinhold that. He said, hey, remember how hard you were driving, trying to gain on me on corner entry when I was trying to get that run off the corner, really, trying to use up what I got is, hey, what's going on there, Joe? You can see now, I mean, he's got this thing in almost coast mode here. He's no rush, just hanging out. And Reinhold maybe suffering that lack of grip. You can see, I mean, he's already, not that this is bad, but you can go down there, you can use that yellow line, that apron to help rotate the race car. Don't see many guys doing it here this early on. That's kind of a desperation measure, something that can help you out that final half. But if you're using too much throttle coming off the corner, using that apron right now, you're going to be spinning those rear tires, and that's when the right rear might go away from you here as we get later in the run. But let's go back here. Here's some banging. Not too sure who got in the wall there. It was the 29 or the 26 coming off the corner. You can see right behind Joe. Just hanging out, man. He wants that other caution. He'll be the lucky dog. Get this thing back on the lead lap. Maybe get a new fresh set of tires even. If they got another one in the stable. And that could be what somebody like Joe Canella's needs here is Roland Olson gets by Rob Cassidy. Move him up into fifth. Hollywood is coming. Roland Olson now up to fifth, drives it into third. Reinhold really using the bottom of the racetrack here on 3 and 4, so much so that my software here, let's watch this one more time. It wants to tell me that he's entering pit road. I mean, you can see that's how low he's going. He is really using it. Doesn't want to give up that inside to Mike Lemieux. Mike right there, but man, at this racetrack, if that guy in front of you doesn't make a mistake, you kind of need to force it. Let's see what Lemieux does. I mean, this is short track racing. You got to use those bumpers here, but you got to do it clean. There's a right way, there's a wrong way. Nudging that guy a little bit here. Corner entry right there in the middle. Unsettle the race car a little bit. Now you try to work under him. You don't give him the big shot to finish him off coming off the corner. That's the no-no. You want to move him on entry. Give him a little tap in the middle. That is American short track racing. And, man, we are seeing it here in the Senex short track series. This is a good one. Lemieux has the pace. But right now, stuck behind the dam, that is the 71. And if this thing would stay green, this is good for Keith. I mean, Lemieux, he's quick. I mean, he was right there with him on the warm-up charts, practice charts, right there, P2 in qualifying. But, man, oh, man, 2 seconds almost this lead. That is a freaking lifetime on the short track, and that is not going to be easy to make up. You're going to be trying to overdrive yourself, and you got to be really smart here as Joe Canellas gets around those last two guys on the lead lap of Glenn Stanley, Quinn McClaney moving up a little bit here. But Chris Farmer, he's allowing, I think he's going to go another lap down here. He did. That's a tough break here for the 54, man. He is not what you wanted if you're Chris Farmer. Going to need multiple cautions if he wants to get that tractor back on the lead lap. Keith Kincaid, 2.5 seconds, bye-bye, gone. And like I say, that was no shot at Reinhold. You could just see it, man. It took me so long, and I only say it so bluntly because, man, I love giving that information out, but you could just see overdriving the corner those first couple laps. And, man, you hate to sound like the broken record, but really, those first couple laps, Those are the most important. I mean, that's where you're going to set the standard on those tires. You get them too hot, sliding them, you'll never fully recover, and they're going to wear faster than they normally would. And that's just kind of what we're seeing from the 71. You see still using that bottom, doesn't want to lose P2. But in the overall grand scheme of things, you know, you're just slowing yourself down too. You want to use that arc getting into the corner, really try to power this thing. But now I'm going to go down there, shut the door one more time. And Lemieux, man, he is really starting to run out of options. You know, you try to play a nice guy, but like I said, it's short track racing, so at some point you got to put the foot down and go. And Roland Olsen, man, he is one of those guys. I told you, Hollywood, he knows how to race, man. He's an asphalt guy. And he has got this thing up to fourth, and man, oh man, we're going to go in the nose because all of a sudden, you know, this is where if you're the astronaut, the sun's getting a lot closer. Look at Lemieux, though, go to the outside. Lemieux, he went to the outside to get it done. Power move by the 40 of Lemieux. I'm telling you, he saw Hollywood getting closer, and he said, well, damn, son, I got to do this. He grabbed the rosary, sent it in there, and just completed it on the high side. You can see, I mean, he's half a second up the road now on Lemieux. That's within a lap. He has pace. But, man, he was corked inside of that bottle. We'll have to see if he's got enough fizz to shoot himself up there to the 17 because Keith, he's crossing the line now. Like Lemieux, crossing the line now. So, I mean, that is a ways back there. And you know what? Let's do something we normally do here. Kind of show you how spread out they are. Park here at the start-finish line. Here's your leader. Lap cars. Here's P2. Hollywood just went by. Hollywood now trying to work through lap traffic here. I mean, he's got that 54 of Farmer. He's got the new tires coming up behind him now, too. But Farmer, 2 laps down in that 54 machine. So if you're Roland Olsen, obviously you're not listening to this live unless you have a time machine. But maybe, you know, go back and get in that time machine. Let this 54 by you right now and use him. I mean, use that guy up. Let him go lead the way for you. Plow through some people. He's quick. He's got those fresh tires. And you aren't battling him. You know, I can't tell you how many times I used that at Spa last night. You let that a-hole who wants to overdrive in the first 2 hours of the race, you just let him go by you and let him take care of a couple guys in front of you. And it's amazing. You end up getting them back. As Keith Kincaid all by himself through 1 and 2, 4 seconds up the road from Lemieux. Let's go on the nose here. Can Lemieux even see the carrot? I mean, this is U.S. Old 15. I mean, driving in Pennsylvania, nobody uses that road anymore. They're all on business 15 now, using the interstate. No more Old 15. You go down there, you don't see no one. That's what Lemieux's doing. This is probably, arguably, the hardest time to be a race car driver. You know, you're trying to go fast, but you just don't have that trophy in front of you. You know, you don't have something egging you on, showing you where, hey, I may be losing a little bit of speed in the center of the corner, so maybe I'm driving it in too hard. Maybe I need to back it in a little slower, pick up that throttle. You're so far back, you don't have that. You don't have the goal in front of you. Roland Olsen, he lost. Oh, wait, no, excuse me. He stayed in 5th place. I was thinking he had moved up. No, okay. He did fall back. Ed Papineau. Where did this guy come from the last couple laps? Ed Papineau in the 01 must have been doing a little tire saving here because, I mean, he left those boys in the sandbox. He's a second up the road now on Reinold. 2 seconds up the road on Olsen. And the 01 of Ed Papineau, man. Powered by Budweiser. Having a good time here. We're down. I mean, we're almost 2/3 of the way through. As you see, Keith just clicking them off one by one. He said, see you later, Blackjack. I'm going to go around. See you later, Dave. I'm going to go around. And man, oh man, Rob Cassidy, not too sure what happened there to the 68. Maybe just couldn't take the tire loss anymore. Knows the win wasn't an option. Going to pull it in here. There they go. Finally jacked that thing up. Wasn't too sure what was going on. The boss man, Rob Cassidy, going to get a fresh set of tires. Lemieux now back to about 4.5 seconds back. It hasn't completely grown, but, you know, it hasn't disintegrated either. And Ed Papineau actually doing a little bit of the real end here. You know, not too sure how much rubber he's got left on the treads of that 01 machine. But he's getting it back into, you know, floating right around. Well, I said getting it back in. Now it's 8.2. He was down to within 8 seconds. Just wanted to make me bite my tongue there. Looked like a little bit of a liar. Mike Lemieux still holding down P2. You see that side-by-side battle in front of him. That was for position, but McLean got around the 88 of Brill. Or no, excuse me. McLean and one more lap down than that 88. So that is not for position. You can kind of see that now. Quinn going to get to the outside here. Just let him roll on by. Now this 26 of Frank Barbary, if he could get to the back of the 88, this is for P7. Dave Brill holding on to 7th at the moment, but here comes Papineau. He's on the lead lap. You would think these guys not going to play too hard. They let Pappy go on by. We're 3 wide. The 26 going to pick up the scraps. And Moose Stanley, Barbary, up in front of Dave Brill, Frank Barbary. Taking advantage here, but now he overdrives 3, and Dave looking to get back under Brill side by side. 29 or 30 laps to go this time by as we're on lap 71. Keith Kincaid just watching him mix it up in front of him, man. He is getting up to the back of, he's already got, well, right now the only people on the lead lap here are the top 6, I want to say. You have Stanley and Olsen, though, 5th and 6th, right off the nose there, the leader. And there's Reinold as well. So, boy, this could get interesting. I mean, Keith Kincaid just absolutely laying it down here right now. This is impressive. You can see, had the pace early on, but not only pace, I mean, he had the pace to race. He was saving those tires, knew this thing could go long, green flag. Now we're seeing Lemieux. I mean, he is getting to the back here. Got the lead cut down to 3 seconds now with Kincaid fighting in traffic. Roland Olsen side by side there with Reinold. Reinold moves up the racetrack. He's going to lose 2 spots. And put Roland Olsen back inside the top 5 is Keith Kincaid stuck behind the 29 of Glenn Stanley. Stanley wants to stay on the lead lap but can't do it. Kincaid, too much pace. And with 25 laps to go, the Flamin' Hot Cheetos machine has all but the top 3 drivers a lap down. Ed Papineau, Mike Lemieux, and Keith Kincaid, your only guys on the lead lap. Sheer domination out of the Flamin' Hot 17. Mike Lemieux, though, you know, I did mention we had seen that gap around close to the 5-second mark, but all of this traffic has seen it come down, and 2.7 seconds behind. Does Lemieux have enough? You can see there's 4 cars in between him and that number 17, who is your leader. Just sliding up the hill, though, on entry. You can hear him dragging the brake a little extra to kind of set the nose, get it to rotate down the hill. But, man, you can see Lemieux is just the handling's going away on this 40 machine. And I'm going to pull up a window. My apologies. I forgot to mute my Facebook. That is my team messaging each other. I'm not going to spoil myself and look at it. I'll leave it a surprise, see how it's going for us. Keith Kincaid got it back to 3.5 seconds now with that clean air. No lap traffic. Keith just able to, set those teeth right back in and start draining these guys. It is unbelievable. But we are going to have a battle here for P2. This is not over. Reinold just came down pit road. The 71, he had enough. He's sideways in pit road too. Not if that's good enough. I'm not sure if he's in the pit stall good enough to get that thing to change the tires and get it back out. Not too sure. He's still sitting on pit road. May have just called it a night here. As Ed Papineau sees second place, getting closer and closer. Is he doing the Tony Stewart? Is he saying, hey, kitty, kitty, kitty? Is he running him down? Well, not is he running him down, as he's running him down, because he is within a second now. Here we go, Pappy. Ed Papineau going to get slowed up a little bit there by Joe Canellas. Not on purpose. Canellas tried to let him by, but then he couldn't float up to the outside on corner exit. That is going to hurt him a little bit. And with 15 to go, you need everything to go your way here. You can't have any mistakes. Speaking of mistakes, Lemieux gets the door slam shot on him by Hollywood. He had to get on the binders. Back to within a second. Lemieux sends it in here on the bottom. Able to get in front of Hollywood. Farmer, maybe he sees that relative now. He does. He says, that guy's battling for position. I better let him go, man. And with 13 to go, we'll have to see. Can Papineau get to the back? He gives Hollywood a little shot here. Hollywood straightens it up, doesn't go around, but Papineau, oh boy. Almost 2 seconds back on Lemieux after the mistake, and he is going to have to do some mistake-free racing here now. Qualifying laps got to go burn the house down. If you want to go get up to the back of that man in P2, nobody's going to do anything about this man. Keith Kincaid, unless he runs out of gas, blows a right front tire, maybe needs to go to the bathroom. That's the only thing going to stop this man. There's 10 laps to go. He is 5 seconds up the road. And boy, oh boy, he is setting the pace. People are going to be asking him for driving lessons after this one. The real deal out front, Keith Kincaid. So impressive what he is doing at the moment. Just keeping our eye on Papineau here, just seeing if he can get back close. It's down to 1.2 seconds here, but not a lot of time. 8 laps to go. You can see, Ed is there, but he's not there. He's driving it in deep corner entries, making up time. But Lemieux focusing on corner exit. But maybe Pappy getting enough there on corner entry. You breathe some light into that 01. Here he comes. Can he find a way to maybe part the seas here? Channel his inner Moses. As he works off of 4, can he slide the 40 machine up? Can't do it this time. But Lemieux, he makes the mistake himself. And Papineau up to P2 with 6 to go. Now 5 to go for your leader who's going down the backstretch. Papineau entering 1. You can see Papineau knows without a caution flag, this is the best Ed is going to get here, but a P2 after starting 12th. Tail end of the field. What a night. I guarantee you the wife treated him right after this one. This is an impressive run for the 01 of Ed Papineau. But Keith Kincaid, Mr. Burger King, having it his way. in the Cheetos machine all by himself. I mean, he felt pressure those opening couple laps, maybe after the restart, but he just absolutely, I mean, he put the pedal to the metal and just drove off with this thing. Ed Papineau got up to P2, and, two guys with Shaggy TV on their car running 1-2 with the white flag in the air. 1 lap to go. Keith Kincaid, man, he could do a donut, stop and get a pack of cigarettes, maybe fill up a coffee as he rolls off a 4 for the final time. Checkered flag waves. Keith Kincaid brings home the win here in Virginia at the Langley Speedway. Ed Papineau comes across the line in P2, and Mike Lemieux rounds out the top 3. Glenn Stanley 4th, and Hollywood Roland Olson rounds out the top 5. What a race there for Keith Kincaid, who goes all the way on 1 set of rubber. Ed Papineau took advantage of the caution there on lap 20, pit on lap 21. So he did have a little bit fresher tires. Just couldn't get up to the back of Keith Kincaid. Still a great run there for Ed Papineau. I'd love to be able to use my SDK server. This actually will probably be much faster and less noisy. See, we got to just learn the ways here. And now we see who has decided to hang around here for their interviews. I don't know if it is Keith yet. I just got it on the winner. So, yeah, it looks like actually it is just going to be Keith. Nobody else here. From our top 3, I don't think. No, so I'm looking like we're just going to have Keith here, and I need to go into my Discord settings real quick before I pull Keith up here. Take myself all push to talk. My team didn't want to hear me talk the whole time I was racing. And we'll pull the man up. I'll tell you, Keith, I don't know if you're here yet, if you've even caught your breath from this thing a couple of nights ago. That's domination, man. You felt the pressure. The first thing I want to ask you, okay? You got to save those front tires, man. And I was trying to give examples, not bash Reinhold, but those opening couple laps, you could see the difference in style. But how hard is it, man, to back up those corners and be smart with it when you got a guy driving behind you that aggressive? Because I'll tell you, it's not easy to save the tires when the guy behind you, is really trying to push that envelope.
100% Shaggy. Yeah, he was really putting the pressure on me the first few laps. A couple of times he was there on my back bumper. I knew I had to pick it up a little bit, but the key was saving tires, not getting them hot at the start, and just trying to maintain a constant speed and not get ran over at the same time.
Yeah, I don't really understand the physics, Keith. I am not a great racer, but, I was mentioning exactly what you said, and that's what the good guys all tell me. Those first couple laps, they say, are more important than anything. That if you can't keep those tires under a good temp, those first maybe 5 to 10 laps, that you're going to pay for it the whole rest of the way. I mean, is that what you feel when you're in the race car too?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, it's exponential. If you ever get them really hot at the start, it's going to start sliding and it's just going to keep compounding and it's going to get worse as you go. The key is to, bring them in softly, keep the temperature down and have the tires there at the end when you need them.
Yeah, now how much of that, Keith, too? I don't want to give away your game plan, but I can kind of see what you're doing. I mentioned how towards the end, use that yellow line a little bit, help rotate the car. But in the beginning of the run, you don't want to crank that wheel down. You kind of want to float it in top center like you were and really use that cut down line. I mean, do you think that's the difference in the big tire saving? Because, you just, I haven't seen somebody nurse a set of tires like that and still have that speed. That was really impressive.
Oh, 100%. And I have to give credit to my dad. He just, beat it into my head when I was younger. I'm gonna date myself here. 40 something years ago when I first started racing, be smooth, run that oval inside an oval, and just, take care of your equipment and it'll be there at the end.
Yeah, man, and you're demonstrating that week in, week out. I'm surprised these guys aren't in your DMs all through the week, trying to find tips and tricks because Keith, yeah, you've been damn good this year. But this is, man, this is the cherry on top of that Sunday. That was an impressive run, hell of a win, man. Who you want to thank?
Thank you. Yeah, there again, MRL, the Senex group. I want to dedicate this win to my dad. He's been there for me from my start of my career, and man, I've been racing for, gosh, 40 something, 50 years now, close to it.
What did we start
And
racing in, Keith? Do you mind me asking? What was your first race car?
go karts. I started in go karts when I was about 8 years old.
Okay, that's cool. See, my dad, he was a go-kart racer, but Keith, I'm a big chubby kid. My dad would never let me race go-karts because I'd have to race with the adults. So I started on the dirt side of things. I had to wait till I was 12. But man,
Yeah.
go-karts. That's definitely fun. And I mean, you know it more than anyone. Then, well, I'm guessing, was it asphalt go-karts?
No, we actually
Oh,
started in
okay,
dirt.
okay.
Yeah, started in dirt, but I ran a little bit of everything over the years. But yeah, I was a little bitty kid and actually ran with the adults when I first started. I think I was around 50 pounds.
Oh my gosh, I can't remember the last time I was 50 pounds, Keith. I don't, I may have been born close to 50 pounds. That was a long time ago for me. Where did you do your racing? Was it like northeast, east, south?
South, southeast, and then as I progressed in my career, we kind of raced all over the country.
Oh, that's awesome, man. That's really cool. I'm gonna have to do a deep dive with you here one of these times. Really get into that. But you keep doing your thank yous. You were in the middle of thanking your dad. I'm just a racing nerd, so I needed to know where you came from here.
Gotcha, Shaggy. Thank you.
Well, hey, hopefully I'm talking to you at the end of this dirt one, man. Good luck.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Keith Kincaid getting it done, man. And wow, dude, starting on dirt go-karts. That's where my dad was too. That's what we did here in the Northeast at the Hunterstown Speedway. Still a go-kart track. About 10 minutes from my house. And man, we've had some good talent come out of there. Guys like you probably know if you like sprint car racing, Kevin Gobreck, man. My dad, I was a little kid when my dad was racing go-karts with him. I remember when Kevin passed away. That was a big one around my area. That was a sad day. Still run all those memorials. But hey, we're going to throw up the intro video here, and we'll be back on the dirt side of things. So stick around for part 2 of your Senex Short Track Series Championship. We'll be right back.
I'm Chris Jakimick, and I live in Las Vegas, Nevada. Throughout my military career, I spent the bulk of my career out in Las Vegas. It was the first job I had as I was protecting some sensitive resources out there at Nellis. I would deploy to Kuwait early on in my military career with a larger weaponry system to support Operation Southern Watch. And then from 2003 to 2006, I was part of the emerging drone mission for the United States Air Force and Department of Defense. We were fighting the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan from our backyard. You'd be in war for 12 hours of your shift, and then you'd drive home to your apartment here in Nevada. So psychologically, it was very odd. Like, you felt you were in the combat zone every day because you were seeing it on the screens and it was that important, but I don't know what it did to the human psyche at the time. Some things would kind of happen in my personal life after that would change a lot. When Adam joined the Marine Corps, it was a natural fit. Anybody who joins the military, especially after 9/11 happened, you're looking for that purpose. I think that's why he made the choice. It's like, let me go be a Marine. He was in between Fallujah and Ramadi. during the heaviest parts of the fighting of the Iraq conflict. I mean, you hear guys like Jocko and everything talk about like the triangle of death. My brother was dead set in the middle of the triangle of death with a Marine unit. I think it changed him. Like, you look at everything across history, you read any of the books out there, war changes anybody that's been involved with it. Trauma or mass events like that changes anybody, and it really changed my brother. And I get that call. I get the text, actually, from my stepmom. It's like, you need to call me as soon as possible. Something's wrong with Adam. All right. Didn't think anything of it. And I'm about to pull off the highway to go celebrate and have some pizza with my classmates. And she's like, Adam's dead. Adam's dead. He had died by suicide that day. 25th of July, 2017. And it changed my world forever.
I think that was the first time I saw or heard someone broke in through the phone. There was a time where I was concerned that he wasn't going to make it. There were times I thought we're going to have to camp out outside of his house, or we might get that phone call. Are we ready for that phone call?
I couldn't catch a break. A fellow first sergeant I served with, he had died by suicide. On the day of my buddy's funeral, I'm going through social media, and I see this, what appears to be a manifesto from one of my old airmen. My first thought was like, today's not going to be a good day. And sadly, my hunch was right. He had killed his own family and taken his own life on the day of my buddy's funeral. It was just compounding trauma after trauma after trauma. I cracked. I fell hard with alcohol. That was rock bottom. I first heard about Mission 22 just by like surfing the internet and looking on there and seeing some of the programs that they had available. I was like, something seems right about this. To be in a program like the R&R program with them and the innovative things that they're putting together, I have not seen in any other veteran nonprofit. It's putting all this stuff together to heal in the most effective way possible. They're making you do a lot of the hard work through reading, through audiobooks, through physical fitness, through nutrition, open discussion, critical thinking, neuroplasticity and cognitive feedback to where you're developing the brain more. It's given me a chance to regain my life. Cycling's been a big part of my recovery. Is around the time I retired, a little over a year ago, I set forth, I was like, let me set this goal to ride 2,020 miles in 2020 for another veteran nonprofit that supports Gold Star families and those lost either to accident or to suicide. Every time I got on that bike, I was like, you know what? There's a name, there's a dash that I'm gonna honor today. Not the dates on the gravestone. It's like, I'm gonna honor that life. So it gave me purpose. And it just became like a release for me to where the pedals would spin and I would get out of my head for a little bit. Physically, I was starting to feel better. I could see the improvements, and I've tracked my data over the past year, and it's phenomenal on the growth that I've had on a bike.
He's just on a mission and is relentless about it. Every day he pushes it. From the loss of his brother and a number of different trauma that he had gone through in his life, it was absolutely critical for him to find something that he could sink his teeth into. I think he's taken the ball and run with it with Mission 22, especially the R&R, the recovery and resilience part. I think it makes him stronger in the person that he is today.
I don't know why I fell on the bike. It was just like, okay, it called to me, and then I kept going. So that scene from Forrest Gump where he just starts running one day and it ends up in Monument Valley in Utah? He's like, I'm tired, I think I'll go home now. I'm not tired yet. I'm not ready to throw the towel in like Forrest Gump did. I'm getting on that bike and I'm keeping on going because there's something about it. There's something about just getting out in nature, having that breeze in your face and seeing some of the beautiful landscape here in Las Vegas where it takes you away from the stressors and the challenges of the world for a little bit. And you can just appreciate the beauty that is out there. and be in the moment. And then it got serious, because the Air Force enrolled me in the Air Force Wounded Warrior program, and it transformed into lo and behold training. If I do this well, maybe I can go represent the Air Force. Maybe my grief and everything in my entire story can come to fruition because I can put the energy into something positive. If I made the team, I'd just be overwhelmed with emotion. I suffered a lot of my trauma because of my military service. But at the end, it's like, I gotta be grateful that I'm allowed to compete in this, because there are others who didn't make it home or lost the war at home. That's what it's about.
Oh my gosh, everybody. I am so excited. My heart's pumping. My hands are sweaty. Please welcome our very own Director of the Air Force Wounded Warrior Program, Colonel Rich Obert. Over to you, sir.
Welcome, warriors and athletes. Today we're going to announce the 2021 Air Force Team for Warrior Games. The selection was difficult as there were many hardworking and deserving individuals, and the work and dedication was apparent by all. I know the suspense is killing you, so I'll turn it back over to Marcia. Good luck to each of you. Back to you, Marcia.
All right, thank you, sir.
Starting us out from Air Education and Training Command, Major Daniel, Lieutenant Dan Cariña.
Yes, yes, yes. Air Combat Command, out of Texas, Master Sergeant Nicole Nikki Favuza.
From Valdosta, Georgia, Technical Sergeant retired Antonio Del Vecchio.
From East Liberty, Ohio, Airman retired Pete Murphy.
Technical Sergeant retired Margie Hinkle.
And coming up next, former pole vaulter, that is very similar to Blaze Velarde, coming to you from Las Vegas, Nevada, Master Sergeant retired Chris Jack Jackamek.
Warrior Games competitor back on the team, Staff Sergeant retired Joseph Alex Pate.
Whew.
What? He did
right.
big things back in the day. He's gonna do big things. Coming to you from St. Hedwig,
Wow.
Perry.
We look at Mission 22 and we see all the shirts, we see all the flags out there. I don't think enough of the people understand how big the programs actually are and how that is actually in there. And like, I'm a benefactor from the donations of these private donors that are there to allow me to live life, to improve life for not only myself, but for friends, for fellow veterans, for my children, for my girlfriend, for my family, is to be that, to say, you know what? We can keep going at the end of the day. We can keep going, no matter how hard it gets, no matter how difficult life becomes, we can keep going.
We have this value in the Air Force, this belief, that a wingman concept. We're gonna take care of each other. We've got each other, and it gives us hope, right? And so if you have been knocked down, I say this a lot, by the baseball bat of life, right? You're on the ground. If you know that someone's got you, it's got your six, no matter what, that's gonna help you get back up again. And that's part of Mission 22, I think, for him. That connection, that human connection, that's what's gonna save us. Yeah, that's what saved him. He can be a light in darkness. No matter how dark that spiral is, to know that someone got back up again and navigated their way out, that they can get through it too, that they are not alone. Not for one moment of one day. That's what he could be. He could be a beacon of light.
We are back on Shaggy TV for part 2 here at the Weed Sports Speedway in beautiful state of New York. And one of the more, we ran Lincoln. That is a technical racetrack too. 1 and 2, pretty tricky. But this Weed Sport, maybe a little more technical. I mean, this place, you're going to have to use those brakes a little bit. If you want to run the inside to the bottom of 1 and 2, you're going to drag the brakes going in the corner. Lots of stuff to find. Here, little tips and tricks. As you see, Scott Tice, man, he is up there. 14.29, his best lap. I'll show you everyone's best time here. You can see, I mean, he's almost half a second there. Scott pretty quick. Have to see if that translates throughout. Let's find some of the guys on the racetrack. There's Joe Canellis. You got Keith Kincaid out there. Chris Reinold right in front of him in that 71 machine. And then we got the 88 of Dave Brill out here. Only guys currently on the racetrack. I'll probably... Oh, okay, never mind. I won't probably roll this because, well, checkered flag's waving, so it's going to roll itself. It's about time to go qualifying. That's good timing. I got lucky there. As we'll see what happens. You know the deal. Who's going to be first out on the racetrack? Looking like it's Chris Farmer here. I'm going to run my trackside cameras here for this first lap, just to make sure everything's all good with sound. A little cheat for me. Going to roll a 4. This is the first lap that's going to count here as he crosses the stripe. Okay, never mind. The opening lap does count when they come out of the pits. I wasn't used to that counting. It totally counted a 14.97, so... First lap there for Chris Farmer was quick time until Dave Brill came out and absolutely tore down the mountain here in this 88. Now Joe Canellas with a 14.45 goes up to the top. Dave Brill right back with a 14.22. Let's see what Scott Tice can do. He was the quick man there in warm-ups, but struggling out here right now in qualifying. Green, he is going to improve. Let's see what it means. Scott Tice staying P3 here. I'm not sure if maybe they get 3 qualifying laps. We'll see if this lap counts. Not going to be quicker anyway. Slower through sector 1 and 2. Well, yeah, it is quick enough actually to get him up to P2. So they must have got 3 laps here tonight. Scott Tice moves on up to 3rd. Mike Lemieux just parks at 6th. Bobby Belshaw came across 8th. I think he's got one more in the chamber here. He's green through 1 and 2. Rolling the top through 3 and 4. I just don't think the grip's there yet. It isn't yellow off the top of 4. Not going to improve. Keith Kincaid, last driver who needs to qualify. Lap number 1 puts Keith P5. Let's see what he does here. Second time, purple sector 1. That's quicker than anybody. What's he do here off of 4? Purple, green, quick time for the 17 of Keith Kincaid. What a lap there for the driver of the 17 who just showed domination at the Langley Speedway. Oh, man, you want to let this guy off the leash. Don't let him lead the way. But like I say, they're going to invert the top 4 here, I think. They didn't do it on the asphalt side, if my memory serves. But we will do it here. For the heat race, let's take a look. Starting lineup, rounding out the field, Benjamin Gunther in the double nickel. Outside of row 5, the 68 of Rob Cassidy. To the inside, the 44 of Bob Belshaw. Row 4 to the outside, the 01 of Ed Papineau. To the inside, the 71 of Chris Reinold. Row 3 to the outside, the 40 of Mike Lemieux. To the inside, the 54 of Chris Farmer. Row 2 to the outside. The 1 of the dog, Joe Canellis, to the inside, the 24 of Scott Tice. Well, actually, reverse that. So Joe Canellis, I should know by now, he's going to be on the pole here with, two heat races. 2 heat races here. So we're going to ignore that bottom part. We're only rolling 6 here. So Dave Brill and Keith Kincaid, we're on the front row here with qualifying, but we know I'm going to learn it eventually. No, actually, they did leave Keith have this, so maybe they'll invert the top 4 when we go into the feature. One of these days, I'm going to understand, and I'm going to have it down. But I think because we're over 10 here, last week, if my memory serves, we had the 1 heat race. That's what threw me off. But I think it's because we had 10. Now that we're that 1 car over, we'll run the 2 heat races. And that's my story. I'm sticking to it. As we'll see, arguably 2 of the best here on dirt on the front row for this one. We'll have to see how it pans out. We got 10 laps to go get it done as we roll off a 3 and 4 for the final time. They're set to drop the hammer as the green flag set the wave. 10 laps to play. E-race number 1 is underway. Kincaid able to slide right away up top, but here comes Tice on the bottom. Oh, he gets the door slammed shut here. He's got to get on the binders, got to catch it, let it gather back up. And the moment, Keith Kincaid in the lead. Scott Tice, P2. Chris Farmer trying to get away from Reinhold here a little bit. Is right now the gang all single file here. So we'll focus on the leader. Check back on that battle for third here, actually, as Reinhold to the inside of Farmer. Farmer with a little bit of a hiccup there, able to keep it straight, though, but Reinhold up to third. Scott Tice trying to reel in the man out front. What can he do? He goes up, kisses that wall a little bit. Just get a little love tap, giving the fans maybe a little spark show. Goes up there, almost brushes the wall coming out of 2. Little aggressive early entry there. That's going to cost him time. Coming out of 4 and turn 3, man. That's why I say it's so tricky. 3 and 4, not like 1 and 2. You're doing something different every couple seconds here at Weed Sport. And Doug Reinhold here, or Chris Reinhold, excuse me. I know a guy named Doug Reinhold. Chris Reinhold running third in the moment here in this 71 machine. Tice still trying to gather up that 24. He's always got pace. It's just staying smooth long enough to get there. Can he do it? 2 laps to go this time by as they work by that double nickel of Benjamin Gunther. He goes a lap down. And Keith Kincaid should be feeling pretty good about himself here as he sees the white flag wave. He knows he's only got 1 lap to go. Final time off of 2, and Scott Tice way back there. Not going to be able to get there as we roll off of 4 for the final time. Checkered flag waves. Keith Kincaid brings it home. Scott Tice P2, Chris Farmer 3rd, Bob Belshaw 4th, Chris Reinhold 5th. Benjamin Gunther rounds out the field. We'll give it a second here. We'll take a look. Starting grid, heat number 2. Now, we should only have 5 guys, so we'll read the first 5 here. That's what I think we're doing, right? No, not at all. That is not at all what we're doing. Okay, so we're going to do it this way when I can cheat real quick. All by himself, row number 3 there to the inside, the 5 of Rob Cassidy. Row 2 to the top shelf, the 40 of Mike Lemieux. To the inside, the 01 of Ed Papineau. And row number 1 for heat race number 2 to the top shelf, Joe Canellis. And starting on the pole, the 88 of Dave Brill. Okay, so it took me a long time to figure this out, but now I finally realized, I told you, I don't have the best, math, reading comprehension, you name it. But for now on, heat race number 2, they'll be on the right side when there's 2 of these till we figure out how to get them to disappear. And then heat race number 1 will be on the left side. Terrible that it, I just now realized that the odds are on the left and the evens are on the right. You think, hey, maybe my brain would have slapped that together a couple weeks ago, but did it? Of course not. So we'll watch them roll around here before they get set to go. Drop that hammer. Should do one more lap, I think. I don't know if the pace car will pull off just yet. Don't. Okay, yeah, no, he is. He ain't messing around here in Weed Sport. Pace truck pulling off, and Davy Boy Brill going to have to see what he can do as the green flag's high. It's set to fly. Heat race number 2 is underway. Well, you see the 40 of Mike Lemieux wash up. It's a little tight there. Coming off of 4, and Dave Brill eats the inside wall. That's going to put Joe Canellis right on the deck lid. He almost gets into the back of the 88. Got to tighten it up. Had to get on the brakes. And now that may be all that Dave needed here with only 6 laps to go this time by. He is out front by a decent margin over Joe Canellis here, 1.2 seconds. I'm telling you, dirt racing, that ain't going to be easy. We'll see here. Rob Cassidy and Ed Papineau. Rob in that 01 black, in that 68 black machine. Ed Papineau in that red, white, and blue 01. As they battle here for 4th and 5th. Mike Lemieux pushes up the racetrack one more time. Now it's a 3-car battle here. Can Cassidy put that thing up into P3 here as Lemieux washes up one more time? Cassidy to the bottom. He pushes a little bit, has to get out of the throttle, gathers it up. Oh, very loose. Oh, boy, Papineau drives it in deep, gets in the back of the 68. Cassidy goes around, and all this in front of your leader here, who's about to put him a lap down here, is Ed Papineau to the inside. Is going to lose a lap, and this time by 3 laps to play for the 88 of Dave Brill. Joe Canellis was up there on the deck lid, but that one move overdrove it a little bit, lost some time, and just hasn't been able to get back to him. But Joe, I think he'll be pretty happy with the P2, especially 2 laps to go. Now Mike Lemieux all by himself in 3rd after the contact, and Rob Cassidy, man, possibly looking at going a lap down here. Not too sure. The white flag's in the air. Dave Brill, what does he decide to do to the 68? Does he let him get some play time here, or does he, strike? Final time through 3 and 4. Looks like he's going to let him go one more as the checkered flag waves. Dave Brill wins heat race number 2, followed by Joe Canellis, Mike Lemieux, Rob Cassidy, and Ed Papineau. We'll mute myself here, take a look at how my team's doing, and maybe I'll talk a little bit here before the end of warm-ups, but make sure you don't go anywhere. We're about to go feature racing here at the Weed Sports Speedway. My apologies there. I couldn't, my team's in 13th. I muted the sounds just in case they got a little nasty. I didn't know how it was going over there. But I needed to do a little digging. You know, I didn't qualify as the best. Not too sure if any of you guys looked at my channel there, but started to think 34th. Lap 1. I kept it clean, but people were being aggressive. I got 16x in a lap and a half just from getting bumped, so I fell the whole way back to 42nd. Just to let the tires warm up. Boy, once they did, I found a little bit of speed. We started picking them back off. I was up inside the top 30 whenever I got out of the race car after 2 stints, and then we put the alien in, and we were up inside the top 10 for a little bit. A couple mistakes overnight, but back to 13th. We're hoping we keep that momentum rolling here throughout the rest of the day. And that being said, sometimes I clip through these a little bit. I am supposed to be in the car, I think, and not super soon, but soon enough that I better hurry up a little bit, give them a little bit of leeway. And we'll finally get a real starting grid here, one that is correct. 44, Bob Bell shot. Perfect. He knew where the camera was going to be. That last quick camera shot, that's what the sponsors want. It's very smart of Bob. That's why he gets paid the big bucks out there in that 44 machine. Let's take a look here. Starting lineup. If I could click the right button. There we go. Rounding out the field, the double nickel of Benjamin Gunther. Row 5 to the outside, the 68 of Rob Cassidy to the inside, the 44 of Bob Belshaw. Row 4 to the outside, the 01 of Ed Papineau. To the inside, the 71 of Chris Reinhold. Row 3 to the top shelf, the 40 of Mike Lemieux. To the inside, the 54 of Chris Farmer. Row 2 to the outside, the 1 of Joe Canellis. To the inside, the 24 of Scott Tice. Row 1 for tonight's Senex Short Track Series A main at the Weed Sports Speedway. To the outside, the 88 of Dave Brill. And starting on the pole, the 17 of Keith Kincaid. As we get ready to go here, man, one more time. When I did that Discord hopping, I kind of cheated. I know who the 3 are in the waiting room. That's a spoiler alert. We do have 3 in the waiting room, and I'll give you a little hint. I've been wanting to talk to one of these guys for a while. I may have even hinted about it in the asphalt race, I said maybe his time was coming. I've been watching the way he's been racing. Speed's been there. Luck hasn't. As the pace truck pulls off. That green flag is high. She is looking fly. Here we go. 35 to play at the Weed Sports Speedway. Ooh, getting a little rough and rowdy there. The 24 Scott Tice moves up here. Elbows wide. Scott Tice falls in line. Gets a little piece to the bottom as Keith Kincaid leads the way. Mike Lemieux in the 40 machine trying to get up to the back of the 1 of Joe Canellas. Joe able to shut the door, get back down to the middle, plant that seed, find some grip. Now he's trying to pull back away here from Mike Lemieux as the battle heating up here for 3rd. Dave Brill feeling the pressure here from the 54 of Chris Farmer. Chris always quick, man. He was even quick in that asphalt race. Just not too sure what happened. Maybe bad pit strategy. He got caught a couple laps down. And, man, he is just looking to turn this thing around. Can he get onto the podium? He better hurry his butt up. No, he gets to the inside. Commentator's curse here for the 54 of Chris Farmer. And, oh, it's enough to bring out the caution flag. As the caution flag does wave, we saw it happen live. No reason to go back. Tough break there for Chris Farmer, and, man, you got to think, that's a lot of damage, man. He is probably going to have to make a trip down pit road, and, man, you know, not that you ever want to do it, but there are a couple dirt tracks where you make that mistake, you go down pit road here, repair the car, you can race your way back up towards the front. Weed Sport, oh man, that is going to be a tough one. And if he does this, this is going to be one of the best drives we've seen all season if he can get this thing back up towards the front. I mean, even top 5 after falling to the back. And, I mean, you're lucky. You really are lucky to get a guy every 3-4 laps here. And I mean lucky. This place, you need the guy in front of you to make a mistake. If you're not willing to, you know, move him out of the way, maybe get aggressive. Have to see here. What happens is that 17 factory rod machine of Keith Kincaid. What is that? Precise Racing Products. Okay, we'll have to do a little digging on that too. As the pace truck set to pull off, you know what that means. The green flag's high. It's about ready to fly. We wait for Keith Kincaid to drop the hammer. He does. We're back underway at the Weed Sport Speedway. Oh, Joe Canellas gets roughed up to the outside. A little contact there with Reinhold. Going to move him up. Now he goes right back down to the bottom. He says, I know how to do it back, brother. A little bumping and banging. And now, oh, Scott Tice going to be the second caution. And Tice not feeling very nice about that one. Maybe upset. Man, I'm telling you, Scott Tice, he not going to be too pumped, but he's only going to have to be mad at himself. Enters in a little early, slides back up the racetrack. And I'm telling you, Dave Brill, there is absolutely nothing he can do there. The guy in front of you makes a hiccup like that, and boy, oh boy, oftentimes he's going to pay for it. And Tice won't need to come down pit road, I don't think, to repair any quote-unquote damage. But, man, that, like I say, that's, you can, but, man, I've not seen many guys come from the back here at Weed Sport. And, well, turn 1 is tricky, man. Like I say, a lot of these guys I guarantee aren't doing it. By the way, I'm seeing the car rotate, but, you know, here's your hint now. A lot of those guys, you hook up that right front brake, man. Drag that brake on corner entry, get to the bottom, plant the left side tires in the tack. And a lot of guys are going to be over driving. You know, you can tell when some are maybe brake dragging, like maybe the 2 out front. And some other guys are just flailing that thing in there, looking to use the right rear to just get it to catch. I mean, it'll work, but that'll start to fade away as the race goes on. We're back underway this time. Good restart there for the 17 of Kincaid. Reinhold, man, oh man, muscles the 88 up the racetrack. And Brill now gets on the binders. Joe Canellas has to as well. Else he would have tagged the 88. And Joe now, man, he is trying to get up into that top 3. Can the 1K maybe make a move this time? By on the inside, coming off of 4. Can't get to the door. Gonna have to float back up in line here as we roll down the backstretch. Your leader, Keith Kincaid. Man, oh man, this guy, we're gonna have to name Victory Lane after this guy. You know, with what he's done this season, the dominance he's had, the way he just won that asphalt race, and he's gonna come out here and show it. He said, Shaggy, I told you, Pops taught me on dirt in a go-kart, man. I am a dirt racer. Yeah, so what? I can race asphalt too. Anyone can. Dirt's where the skill lies. I didn't say that. He said that. as we roll across 23 to play. Dave Brill goes around all by himself. Boo-boo on the front stretch. Caution flag waves, and Mike Lemieux then gets into the back of Belshaw after the 88 straightens out, but we kind of caught the end of that here. So almost gets into the inside wall, straightens up the race car, bounces the right rear off the top shelf, and you do the loop-de-loop and pull, and Joe Canellis is feeling cool, man, up to P3. Good run there for Joe Canellis. As Dave Brill pulled off, he's going to go in and use that quick repair. We'll double him back up here, get back and ready to go. Is Keith Kincaid still your leader? Reinold trying to maybe pressure him on the start there. Pretty good for the 71. Does he have enough to look down to the bottom? He sure as heck going to try. Here comes Joe Canellis, and here's Scott Tice. Scott Tice, I said it couldn't be done. He said, go to hell, you know where, man. He is up to P4. Scott Tice. Maybe he is feeling nice. Oh, what a turnaround here for the 24. What a story here. Can he get onto the podium? Got plenty of time, man. 20 laps to go. That's a lifetime here. In the dirt side of things, especially when Joey going to make a mistake on the outside. He falls back to 8th for the moment. And man, oh man. Oh! Oh, car went around. Caution flag flew. Watch what this is going to do. Joe Canellis. Welcome back to 3rd place, brother. Watch. Oh, no! Joe going to go down pit road. He must have thought he had some damage. So Joe will rejoin the tail end of the lead pack here. He would have been able to keep his spot had it maybe not been for damage there. That's tough for Joe. Heartbreak, man. And let's see. Do I have... So they have time. They lengthen the session a little bit here as we're back ready to play. I remember the one at Lincoln ran out of time. Wanted to make sure that didn't happen to him here this time as Scott Tice able to hold off the farmer. Welcome back to the podium here for the 24. Looking to get a little more. Couldn't get to the bottom though there, the 71. And Scott Tice able to defy the odds, get back onto the podium, but we're still a couple laps from halfway. Or no, we did 35. We are halfway. Thinking we did a 30 lapper. We're over halfway here. So can he hold on this second half of the race? Can anybody go up here and try to hunt down this 17 of Keith Kincaid in his own area code out front? 1.3 up the road is the battle on for second. These guys going hard. Let's watch here from the blimp camera as you see Tice almost gets that right rear in the outside wall, able to gallop that thing back down the racetrack. But Chris Farmer, man, he is loving what he is seeing. This has allowed him to get right back to the rear end of those two, and, you know, maybe a hiccup. Oh, maybe a hiccup. Oh, we had a hiccup from the lap down car. Joe Canellis goes around. We are back under caution. Let's see what happened here to the one machine if you had a little help. This gets loose, coming off a 4, never really catches it. Has to whip it in there to keep it off the wall. Would have been okay, but the 55 of Gunther, nowhere to go. Nails the bullseye on the side of that thing. And back under caution is Keith Kincaid. Leads the way here. Try to cut through this, get to the lights out lap here. We're 1 to green. Should have 12 laps to go when we cross the charity stripe here. Can Scott Tice take advantage maybe of a good restart here? Follow Keith Kincaid, get to the inside of Reinhold. That's exactly what he's able to do. You got to take advantage of that starting spot when you get it in the 24, right back to P2. Now the battle is on. Can Tice find a way to get around Kincaid as we get to the line? Scott Tice does have P2 locked down if a caution would fly. But Reinhold, he's not done yet, man. He's going to come back down to the bottom. Can the 71 of Chris Reinhold get to the rear end of Tice? Doesn't look like it here, as he may have his hands full of the 54. Remember, Farmer was reeling these guys in before the caution flag flew. And now the 54 trying to work underneath that 71. But the hourglass, man, it is running out of sand. We only have 9 laps to go, and with lap times in the 15 seconds, I mean, you got 3 minutes to get your butt up there and try to put yourself on that podium as Scott Tice losing touch with your leader, Keith Kincaid, who's letting the go-kart days show its ways here on the dirt at the Weed Sports Speedway. 7 laps to go for your leader. Farmer holding strong there in 4th as he bounces off the wall. Can he get to the back of that 71 as we're coming to 6 to go? Got a good run on the outside, but not good enough to get there and really plan himself up top. Let's go on board. Right behind that Kinetic 71 machine of Doug Reinhold. Or Chris Reinhold. I'm going to keep calling you Doug here as we go throughout the year. And man, it's the Chris on Chris show. The Farmer trying to plow a new lane up top. Can he get to the outside? Not yet. 4 laps to go, and this is the battle on the racetrack. Fans can't keep their eyes off of it. What do we do? 3 fingers in the air, 3 laps to go as Scott Tice trying to reel in Keith Kincaid. The lead's down to a second here, now up to 1.2. He has a little hiccup through 3 and 4, and you got to think with 2 laps to go, 1 and 2, I mean, they are gone. Those spots are settled without a huge hiccup, but this is where it's on. Can Chris Farmer find a way around Chris Reinhold? Reinhold slides up to the top, going to protect that fast line. And as the white flag waves, 1 to play, Keith Kincaid, final time through 3 and 4, looking to go 2 for 2 this week in the Senex Short Track Series Championship. He does. He brings home the checkered flag, followed by Scott Tice. Reinhold holds off the Farmer. And Ed Papineau rounds out the top 5. What a way to finish the night here. As Reinhold holds on to the podium, but boy, oh boy, he had his hands full, and he had just enough to keep the glass from spilling. Great run out of Chris Reinhold. Up 4 spots, too, so he's the hard charger. Double effort there for Chris Reinhold. That's a fantastic round. Let's pull up the laps here. I have to take away the leaderboard real quick just because it's in my way, not your way. Remember, lap 24, that's when we went green from there. So try to go back to that lap if we need to. See here. We're going to try to get a word with that man. Oh, look at that. Up close and personal. 71. Chris Reinhold. Let's get away. Let's take that away real quick. What's that say? Ed Carley Motorsports. I mean, this is probably the best cam. You park the guys here, you can see everything up close and personal. Even, does he have Earnhardt on the bottom of that? I mean, is that a cursive Earnhardt? I think. So many questions. So little time because I got to go drive. Let's see if Chris Reinhold is in here. So spoiler alert, we did have 3 guys, but one of them, the The guy I said I thought I was going to be talking to, well, that was Joe hanging out with the gang. He did not get there. But boy, I'm telling you, Joe, as you just say, nice call. I appreciate that. We're gonna get you up here, man. I'm gonna be talking to you before this thing's over. You had your shot there. If you didn't clip that inside wall, you were on the podium. You got the speed. It's coming. But let's go ahead. Let's pull up the man who finished third place, Chris Reinold. Chris, man, it looked like if not for a caution with 10 to go, you're probably gonna hold on to P2. Is not super easy to pass, and man, you had good pace, but you got snake bitten on the restart, fell back to third. Talk to us about those last 10 laps, man. How much fun was that?
Yeah, I definitely did not need that last caution. I don't think Scott could have got by me with the line that I was running, and I was actually really consistent down there, and then that yellow came out, and that was it. I was done.
Yeah, you stole my word from me because that's what I was going to say, Chris. Maybe not the pace there of Keith out front, but the thing you did have over everyone around you was that C word, man, consistency. What is the trick here at Weedsport? Because, arguably, I like to say Lincoln's hard. I'm live close to Lincoln, about 10 minutes away, but it's probably the most technical track we're going to come to all season. And to be that consistent, what's it take?
Actually, I think my bonus is that I've actually raced at Weedsport, so I knew the lines already, where to run.
Time out. What did we race at Weedsport, Chris? All right, I just opened up a new door. What'd you race here?
I raced a mini stock there.
Oh, cool, man. How much fun was that? When did we do it? Did we race for a couple years?
Actually, I raced twice there. Because they didn't normally run mini stocks there, so I went there twice for just kind of like just to go do what I wanted to do on holidays. So that place there, turn 1 and 2, you can't run the top. At least I find in the crate late model you can't. 1 and 2, if you get down the bottom and just let it creep up. 3 and 4, you run the top and stay up on that cushion and just watch your throttle when you're exiting so you don't hit the wall.
Now, I won't steal your whole game plan, but I do try to get some information out of you guys. I like driving these late models too. They're one of my favorites. Now, to run that bottom in 1 and 2, we dragging the brakes at all on corner entry?
Dragging the brakes, and the right front was hooked up.
Yep. Okay, that's exactly what I said. See, everyone out there, I'm not lying to you. I want to give you tips. We want everyone to be fast. Hook up that right front brake, drag it, and man, I don't know. I assume it's probably the same, running those stocks, but straight is fast, Chris. Don't you kind of see that translate? You see those guys whip it in there, but that's not necessarily where the speed is, man. If you can keep the car straight like you were coming off the corner, it's almost impossible to pass that kind of guy.
Yeah, it's almost your entry is almost just as important, really, because you got to get the car down low to set it up and keep the car as straight as possible and don't over rotate at the bottom. And 3 and 4, when you're running the top, you gotta run into that cushion like right straight, because if you don't, you really upset the car when the car bangs the cushion.
Yeah, that's what I was alluding to. Yeah, if you let that thing swing in there, man, like you're just swinging the bag of groceries around, you go up there, the balance is all off, and that's what this thing is all about, man. These and the UMPs, you got to keep them on the bars, can't shift the weight, or you're going to be fighting a tight race car. And Chris, man, you got this thing figured out. Just wasn't your night, but won't be long till we're talking to you on the top step. Great run, man. Congratulations on the P3. Who you want to thank?
Just the same as always, the guys at Senex, all the racers, and Rob and Joe for putting it on for us, because they're giving us something to do Mondays and Wednesdays, and they're putting on a good show.
Yes, they are, man. Good quality racing. You guys race hard and you race clean. Hell of a run, Chris. Can't wait to talk to you next week.
Thank you.
Chris Reinold bringing home P3, and now, well, it's almost like we didn't talk to this guy for a long time. Wait, he just won the asphalt side of things. You come here, you do it again, man, and I'll tell you, not as dominant, but, geez, pretty dang close, Keith, at a racetrack that is so tricky, man. You and Reinold didn't have the pace that you had, but, man, you guys were so smooth, no mistakes. What's the trick here, dude?
Yeah, this has kind of been a banner week. Just everything went really smooth this week. Happy with my results. The key here is just keep that car straight. Don't break the tires loose off the corners. Keep your momentum. This is actually the first time I've ever raced this track, so it took me a little while
Oh.
to get it down, and feel pretty comfortable with it now.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. That is impressive first time coming here racing like that because, it's not. Do you see any similarities from where we were at Lincoln maybe 2 weeks ago? Not the same, but I do like to kind of compare those tracks. If you can run the bottom 1 and 2 at Lincoln, you probably have it down to run the bottom here at 1 and 2. Do you feel the same way?
Yeah, initially, especially in qualifying and the heat races, I think the bottom was good in 1 and 2. But I kind of changed up my approach in the feature. In 3 and 4, was kind of letting the car kind of a slider line, and letting it flow up to the middle, and letting it catch the berm at the top, and then lightly get back on the throttle and get that drive off the turn. So a little different than a few of the other guys.
Now, obviously being the leader, man, restart's so important. I got to try to find some spot where they almost got you. Reinhold had a pretty good restart on the outside. Were you worried that one time, when he dove, crossed you over, was on the inside of 1 and 2, or did you know you'd have that good run coming off the top?
Yeah, he definitely put some pressure on me then, but just getting that run off the top, I felt like I could cover it and pull back to the lead on the straightaway, and then fall back into my standard line.
Well, hey, man, you said it, so I'm going to steal it from you. Banner week, you come out here, you dominate the way you did, 2 wins, and, I mean, to come here, first time at probably the trickiest dirt track iRacing has, and to learn it that quick, come out here, master it, and lead the way the whole time, Keith. Hell of a run. Congratulations, and, man, you know the drill by now. Who you want to thank?
Thank you, Shaggy. Yeah, Senex team, Joe and Rob, outstanding series. We're headed into our midway point. We got a week off. I feel like I've got the momentum. Want to thank those guys for putting this on and working with Kyle over at MRL. And it's just been a great season so far, and looking forward to the second half.
Yeah, most definitely, man. Lots of good racing coming up left on the schedule, and I got a feeling, Keith, you're going to be a big part of it. So good luck the rest of the way, man, and hopefully I'm here to talk to you.
Thank you, Shaggy. Appreciate it.
Keith Kincaid bringing home the big win. And what do I mean? Hopefully I'm here to talk to him. I'm going to be here. Hopefully he's here to talk to me. I'm the staple. I'm here every Saturday. He's got to do the hard part. He's got to park that thing on the podium. So hopefully Keith puts in the work and keeps bringing home these podiums. But that's going to wrap it up here. I got to get my butt back over to Spa, do a little endurance racing. So, I'll have the team stream up there on my side of things if you're interested, feel like watching. But we're going to head out. I hope you all have a great rest of your weekend, and we'll see you back next Saturday around noon again. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Don't miss a show. I'm Zach Chapman with Shaggy TV saying go so long.